it's easier for the jury to convict somebody if the jury doesn't identify with them.
A major update in the infamous Canal murders case. The judge ruling the suspected killer is fit to stand trial.
A long time coming here. Angela Brosso and Melanie Bernas were murdered back in the early 90s. Decades later, DNA from both scenes matched a Phoenix man named Brian Patrick Miller. At the time, he was publicly known as the Zombie Hunter, a persona he created for festivals and parades around town. True Crime Arizona's Brianna Whitney's been investigating the case on our podcast and is here what this new information means for the case going forward here.
Yeah, it's huge. We've been looking at this case since the summer, so it's been a long time. Now we're in the winter, and this is huge. This means as of now, there will be a trial, something Angela and Melanie's families have been waiting for nearly 3 decades since their deaths. Until now, all of the court documents in this case had been sealed, but now we're learning new information, and the documents from this ruling are fiery with accusations back and forth.
The ruling is in. Brian Patrick Miller is fit to stand trial.
This court's view is that this hearing is a determination of the truth.
This is video from the hearing this week, the first video of Brian Patrick Miller in court we've seen in years.
Competency is concerned with his mental health now.
That's criminal defense attorney Russ Richelsoff.
Is he capable of effectively communicating with his lawyers? Does he understand his constitutional rights?
He's not affiliated with Miller's case, but sat down with us a few months ago to help understand Miller's defense strategy.
Competency and insanity are different. You can be insane and competent.
Now, one of those has been resolved. Superior Court Judge Suzanne Cohen agreeing with 2 court-appointed mental health experts that Brian Patrick Miller is psychologically competent to stand trial in the murders of 22-year-old Angela Brosso and 17-year-old Melanie Bernas in 1992 and 1993. The 2 girls were riding their bikes along a canal when they were brutally killed. Their homicides went unsolved until 2015, when forensic genealogy linked DNA at both crime scenes to Brian Patrick Miller. At the time of arrest, Miller was a public figure, posing as the Zombie Hunter at festivals and events, complete with a costume and old police car he tricked out with blood on it. He lived in a world of fantasy.
You know, the prosecutor is going to probably try to portray him as a weirdo. You know, hey, here's what this person was into. That's really weird. They're not like us.
In a court filing we can now publicly see from September, Miller's attorneys denied trying to delay their client's trial and said their expert will offer an opinion that Miller has dissociative amnesia, which is a mental disorder where a person can't remember traumatic events. Not only did the judge find Miller competent to stand trial, but she wrote that the expert who was working with Miller's defense team could not rule out the possibility Miller was faking a mental disorder. A prosecutor characterized Miller's insanity defense bid as a delay tactic, saying Miller's lawyers didn't bring up that defense until 6 years after the case was filed.
Now, we said one part of this is resolved, but the judge still hasn't ruled on Miller's insanity claim. The next status conference for this case is in early March, but no trial date has been set yet. This is just the latest update in a much, much bigger story that involves more victims, more violent encounters, and a deep dive into Miller's past. We've spent months unfolding this case on this season of the True Crime Arizona podcast, The Zombie Hunter. You can listen to today's new episode in detail on the ruling and all the episodes on all major platforms, wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And next week, a brand new podcast episode with the cold case detective who worked behind the scenes tirelessly to catch the Canal murders killer. He's speaking out for the very first time. Jamie and Jared.